Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Testing, testing, testing. If y'all in here, man, let your boy know that the audio is popping. Let us know that it's real. The brothers will be joining us shortly. Make sure y'all tap in. Let your boy know it's real. You can hear me. Let me know in the community kitchen chat. You heard? Let me see. Let me see what's happening. But real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I also want you to be aware that today's program is brought to you by Bloodline Films in collaboration with LWF Training for season 2 of On Their Next podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. But today we are bringing you a little bit of Pat talk. The brothers hit me up and said, listen, man, let's have a conversation. Should the feminazis, male and female, be labeled a terrorist hate group? Okay. And I say, you know what? That's an interesting perspective. I think we need to have a conversation. I think we need to have a conversation because, again, a lot of these folks don't even have kids, let alone be married. So, you got to think to yourself, what is the motive behind constantly projecting and having these talking points? And then if somebody's married, let's think about it. Really keep it a buck. These folks, man, these females, their beards, and even in the case of your girl, who a lot of people still like to call your girl Kamala Harris a black woman. Doug is her beard. Yeah, the second husband. Did we hear that in the last campaign? Second husband. That shit is the wildest thing I've ever heard in my life. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, again, today's program, if you're here for the first time, but you're not here from a long time, my name is Chef C. This is On Their Next podcast. And today's broadcast will be brought to you in collaboration, as I mentioned, with Lone Wolf Firearms for Pat Talk, ladies and gentlemen. So what I've been watching, right? We've been watching a lot of these goofies here. But you know what? Before I get into that, let me get my little homie Chef in here and see who in the building. And if you in the building, make sure y'all sounding off. You understand me? Hold on. Let me get a little Chef.
Peace, 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 peace. If you're in the building, holla at your wall. Holla at your wall. Let me see if somebody's in here. Nobody in the building. Let me see something. It don't say that. Plenty of y'all in here right now. If you're live, holla at your boy in the chat. Holla at your wall. Okay. Let's keep it percolating now. Not too talkative. Let's keep that going.
All right. Salute. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this. I've been watching this program, see what's happening with all of these folks here. But before we get too spicy with everything, I know the brothers are going to be touching in very shortly. Let me make sure I come from behind the screen. Right? Let me come from behind the screen myself. You figure, dig? Let me do that. Hold on. Let me get me from behind the screen. Because, we deal in a town where there's a lot of avatars. So salute to everybody that's checked in. Again, I am your host, Chef C from New Jersey. This is Pat Talk. We're here to have a conversation today. Right? We're here to have a conversation. So, let me go ahead and bring up the first Femi that I want everybody to peep right quick. Okay? Now, I can't talk to you right now, sir. I'm live. I got to call you back. Hold on, family. Yeah. We're going to have to talk later. Okay. So, we've been following this feminazi situation, y'all. And I'm going to bring up this first John right here. Let's go ahead and bring this one up. Get this together. Let me see this. Let me bring this together right here. Share the screen. Fair use. Make sure y'all like, sharing, and subscribing. Let's go ahead and bring this up. The brothers will be joining us shortly. This is one of the earlier broadcasts. I call this a happy hour broadcast. You figure, dig? So, let's bring this up, though. Does feminism, should it be labeled a hate group? I want to know what y'all say. And it oftentimes comes from these unattractive breezies that nobody really, nobody really checking for. Nobody really, you know what I mean? Nobody really percolating with these type of shorties, man. And even the dudes, weird niggas, Akeem Jeffries, your boy Roland Martin. Roland Martin slipped up and showed us that he was on that bussy time, you know. But, I digress. Let's go ahead and play this and see what she got to say.
About what happens when you're the most powerful chick in the game, you're married to one of the most powerful dudes, and he still won't treat you right because he is intimidated by your power.
Hey,
You describe your relationship with white feminists as complicated. What do you think needs to happen for feminism to be a multiracial prospect?
Yeah, so I want to be real clear that this is not a book where I'm asking black girls to play nice with white girls. What I want is for black women to understand patriarchy affects us too, though. We can't have any kind of black liberation if people aren't talking about black women and girls. And that doesn't have anything to do with what Becky is or is not doing or saying.
So no movement with Becky?
Look, I think that we got to have strategic solidarities with white women. The Me Too movement, both in terms of...
Look. You got a big, unattractive breezy that nobody hollering at. Is that brother Black Hombre, man? What's happening with you? Brother Black Hombre, man. What's hollering at you, man? What it look like, bro? I mean, listen, man. Listen. You got a very, and we got, listen. Oh, chef, he about to shame the chick. Fuck you. Okay? Yeah. I'm on that type of time already. You got an unattractive chick writing a book about feminism, right? Talking about, the biggest man in the game still ain't treating his wife right. It's way too much woe is me. And then her idol is this raggedy face right here. Somebody done chewed this chick face up and spit her back out. And now we hearing this feminism. Oh, man, this is the wildest shit ever. KRS to the... Right, Black Hombre. KRS to the... Fucked up. Shout out to my sis, MF Kush, man. MF, holla at your wall. MF, what's hot? You know what I mean? But this is the Femi move. Should these chicks be freaking terrorist hate groups? Should they be labeled as that? Right? You had bell hooks who was just as ugly as shit too. Right? They're very aggressive, these chicks. Loud. Look at her mouth. What happened to this chick's mouth? Come on, man. Let's go ahead.
Tarana Burke's work, but also in terms of what we see rich white women testifying to, tells us that even when you have money...
Look at this one. Look at. Blob the hell out. Who's her man? Who's her man? If you can dig me, come on, man.
And power and beauty, you are still subject to the violent whims of men. And that means that there is a cause for solidarity and struggle together. But that doesn't mean that we can't hold white women accountable for their racism and that we can't have some terms to negotiate in terms of what will bring us to the table.
Man, get the fuck out of here. Listen, man. Family, this is the shit that I'm always talking about, man. They find the ugliest, most beat up, most round, Mr. Potato Head shaped ass females that they can find on the planet. Look at this. Look at this. She's built like a Mr. Potato Head. Oh, chef, you're shaming.
Everybody love everybody!
Fuck that. Shout out to Will Ferrell. You understand me? Kamala, help me out. This is a Oompa Loompa.
Let's really be clear about that.
You goddamn it. You better be right. Shit, this is a Oompa Loompa shaped ass. Then her idol is a chick that got a face chewed on.
In terms of what will bring us to the table.
Black men and feminism, we have no place there. However, Akeem Jeffries, right? A Corey Bootlick, both who appear to be closet booty bandits, right? and your boy, Roland Martin.
So talk a little bit about the gender empathy gap, or Black men caring about Black women beyond their mothers, daughters, sisters.
Patriarchy kills everybody. It doesn't.
Get the fuck out of here. See, this is why she needs it. This is why we're talking about this. This needs to be a hate group. Salute to my brother Next Level for checking. What's happening with you, Next Level? Salute, yeah? Salute. Beef and broccoli face chick out here. A bunch of these big wide backs already coming through talking the nonsense. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Pardon me. Somebody that hit your wire. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, pardon me. Yeah, so listen, man. Let's go ahead and play a little bit more of this. Let y'all take this in.
Doesn't just kill Black women. So much of Black women's political behavior in this country is about helping the world to see and humanize Black men, and to say that we understand the ways that systems harm them. We don't see Black men sort of zooming in the same way and thinking really specifically about the way that systems harm Black women or constrict our sense of possibility, and more so than them not only thinking about it, but having a sense of commitment to helping us change it. Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help Black people. Commit to each other when we're thinking through, for instance, intimate partnership, that what we can do is sort of do that Black thing that we do very well, which is that.
So hold on. Let me ask the question. Let's have this conversation. Let me see who is this. This brother Q? This is the God Q? Let me ask this question. Is patriarchy a white thing? How does that work? Because you got me. Black men ain't out here trying to copy everybody. Salute the Q to the God. Checking in, ladies and gentlemen. Q from Let's Talk. Yes, indeed, man. What's happening, Q? Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with Brother Short because he the one that wanted to do this. So I said, let me go ahead and get it together. We've been very busy, Brother Q. Let's take an intermission real quick, y'all. Let me holler at Q. A little quick detour, not an intermission. Q, man, how your week been, man? I know we've been very busy, so how your week been, sir?
It's actually been good. I mean, let me tell you about my dumb self, man. I was off today, right, bro? Go to the eye doctor. I get my daggone eyes dilated, bro. They say, "Oh, you got to ride home." I said, "Nah, I'll be good." Lo and behold, I get out the eye doctor at 12:30. Eyes dilating, doing jumping jacks, man. I'm like, what the hell? Then I said, all right, I ain't gonna go straight home. Let me go do a couple of things, bro. I was in the store, my eye was going crazy. It just starting to settle down the last hour, so I sat on the couch and just sat there. And then when you sent the alert, I said, okay, now it's time to join. But other than that, man, I'm feeling good, man. Good conversation that we having, man. I know this is the appetizer. And I'm quite sure the main course to it is going to be interesting. And when you look at what it's interesting that you and Dr. Short decided to go here, because when you look at what just came out of the Oval Office about why they want these women to start having babies, because it goes back to what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was saying, is that they see that they're going to be the minority. They're going to be the minority. Latinos are going to be the majority, and Black women have unfortunately taken a posture of following behind white women. This whole feminism whole agenda. Some of them, it's an ideology. Some of them practicing and don't even realize it. They don't even know what it is. They just, hear me roar. I'm this. Right. Okay, you sure?
Let's really be clear about that.
Yeah, right. And they don't realize it has nothing to do with equal pay, equal rights. It is an agenda, and they are the enemies to the Black nuclear family.
They are. Oh, shit.
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
Hey, man. Listen, man, I said last week, the week before that, I said, yo, Q had all of them shits lined up. Man, you had me edited for like 5 hours, man, trying to clean all that shit up. YouTube said, nope, you ain't, man. But anyhow, it's all good, man. I'm just playing this clip because, again, A lot of it's very rare if they roll out an attractive chick who takes, or an even pause respectfully, an attractive male who takes the feminism position. And like, look at this chick right here. Who hollering at this? Let's keep it up. Somebody was smash. I understand that. I gets that. Somebody was smash or probably is smashing right now. But ain't nobody, listen, on GP, we just got to keep it a buck. You see this walking around, nobody pulling up and hollering at this. Nobody. Look at this. Who hollering at this? We got to stop playing, but they oftentimes look just like this.
And it is part of suggested marketing. It's part of how they want to market an agenda, a cause, and who wants to get the message out. I mean, you know, let's say, for example, if somebody is a terrible producer of what we do we let that person produce the shows? No. We're gonna rely on somebody that knows what they're doing, knows how to do the scenes, get everybody in, and for this type of stuff, and I didn't even listen to the whole video, but for this type of stuff, this has always been the catch of who would always be. It's a play. Chef, see that always. It's effective too. So why change it up if it's effective? It's very effective in those of us who can see it from male and female. We see it for what it is. Most people don't even see the programming aspect into what be going on and why the play is always being ran on us like this. And it's very, very interesting, because now we're starting to see a lot of old receipts because we're in the digital age. We're starting to see old receipts popping up, and you'd be like, "Damn, he said that." For example, I know you know about the Kevin Samuels said about Tracy Ellis Ross.
Come on.
Like he been gave us the play on her, and then what happened? Lo and behold, she was doing exactly what he said. And I don't think he was doing it as malice. Is that, for example, some of the women of a certain age, they're not as desirable as they think they are.
Easy, Q.
Everybody love everybody!
like you're not who you think you are. Now, it's okay to have good self-worth, self-esteem. You're accomplished and you're able to bring, as we would say nowadays, and I'm just going to say it, bring something to the table. But most people don't care about that shit. Like I always tell people, and I'm cool. I have a lot of female friends who I'm very friendly with. We kick it. They talk to me like a brother, and I talk to them like a sister. But one thing that unfortunately a lot of our black women have fell into is that your accomplishment does not mean qualifications.
Come on, Q. Come on, man.
Them
Come on.
degrees don't mean that somebody gonna want you. You accomplished it. It's a beautiful thing. You put your work in. You climb the social ladder. You climb the economic ladder. You climb the corporate ladder, and you should be rewarded for that. The bottom line is, even when you go to their job, that white man don't want you. That white man is not going to give you equal pay. He's still going to treat that white woman that may have gave him head up under the table better than you with your degrees. And what they do is they come and they take it out on their black men. They take it out on the black sons because they're not being appreciated for what they've accomplished. They've accomplished it, and they should listen. I'm not trying to come off crazy because I'm not crazy, but your accomplishment is not a qualification. It's not, definitely men don't look for that. I'll be straight up with you. A man, the only thing he look for is do she know how to pay her own bills? Do she got her together? Do she got her together? And all the other things, as a man, he gonna take care of. He don't care about nothing. Does she cook, clean? Does she cook and clean up behind herself? He don't even need it for him. He's gonna watch her. But all them degrees and working until 7 o'clock in the evening, chasing behind your boss, trying to go to all these dinners, that ain't for him. He's not even concerned. Do you give him peace of mind? And the key part is, are y'all going to build together? If he don't think he could build with you, he out.
That's a fact. That's a Q fact. No, that's
Yeah.
listen, and shout out to my sister Star for just checking in, sis. I see you, sis. Salute to Sister Star. Yes, indeed. Our sis just checked in, man. Let me read what she said, and I'm gonna go to the brother Negro. I see you, brother Negro. Greetings, brother. This is the nonsense they teach in gender studies. Gender studies, ladies and gentlemen, classes. They don't inform women how lonely they will become when they go down that dead end street. And that's a fact, Sister Star. You gotta be. Listen, let me, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go to the brother Negro. Your educational or even career achievements is only a flex to your female counterparts, to your female peers. Most men don't give a fuck, really, especially if a man that's on his own shit, particularly on a man that's riding and doing what he got to do for himself. Beloved, if you taking care of you, if you know how to handle yours, you know how to keep the crib clean, right? And some ladies, they luck up and they come across a man who already has very good hygienic practices, right? Not just how he clean himself, but how he keeps everything around him clean. You understand me? Then you lucked up. And all he looking for is to see if you keep the same type of energy. You telling him that you a doctorate, you a NB, and all of this other bullshit, it don't mean a motherfucking thing.
At all. Now it might mean something to her if you're a doctor or whatever you do, but men, we don't care about that.
Q, that's why I said to her, listen, the silent thing that folks won't even talk about is that women like to flex on other females.
Mm-hmm.
Right, bitch, I'm better than you. I did. They like to flex on their peers, huh? But that shit, that flexing and that fly shit, you got all them degrees and all of that, man. I don't care, cause you could have 5 degrees, and if you don't keep your crib together, right? If your energy is trash, right? Or you prioritize everything else and then holler at me as if I'm a pocket Yorkie that you got in the bag when you want to take out and play with every once in a while. You ain't shit to me.
A pocket Yorkie.
You feel them pocketbook dogs. If you treat me like a pocketbook dog, you feel me, and you want to bring me out every once in a while. Hey, get away from me. And this, listen, and before that's why I say a lot of cats that's on they type on they shit. Salute to my sister Jane for checking in, man. Salute to my sis Jane. Salute Percy, I see you coming through. You salute the Purse for checking in. If I missed anybody else, let your boy know it's real. I know I said my sister MF Kuss. Let me say it one more time. Salute to MF. Yes, indeed. But again, if you on that type of time, that's going to be a very lonely road, because you know what? You got your girl Tracy Ellis Ross talking about at 50-something plus. She's feeling trauma for not having made decisions or found her guy. You got your homegirl Vivica Fox out here at 60 plus talking shit that she ain't got no man on her arm and she ready to go holler at white boys. Hey, do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, when you get to 50, 60, 9 times out of 10, you're the problem. Respectfully.
You know what's crazy, right? Is that I actually thought Tracy Ellis Ross was bomb. I'm like, yo, she's nice looking female.
Listen, cute. She cute. Cute.
Always got it going on. And then when her clip came out and she just attacked a certain age group of being toxic masculinity, I said, I'm trying to say, like, what's the angle here? Don't use that as an excuse because you want to get a young boy to groom.
Come on.
because that's the
You
reality.
right? Talk that, Q.
You
Talk
want to
that.
get
Come
a
on.
younger person so you could groom them to your liking. But all he's going to do 9 times out of 10, definitely if he's in a social status, he's going to give you, he going to do nothing but send you home with a wet ass.
That's it. Hard,
That's
hard
it.
thing in bubble gum.
Because
I'm not.
he's not going to be thinking about trying to build her. He's probably going to be like, man, she of the age where she, unfortunately, she might not can't have kids. I want a family.
Mm.
I can't see her because younger people think, so younger people think some crazy stuff in their minds sometimes. They'll be like, well, if she 50 and I'm 30, by the time I'm 60, she 80. I ain't gonna be with her. She gonna be
Right.
old and washed up by then. But it's funny how a lot of times when we see these known celebrities, they're unable and unequipped to give a good insight on something without throwing shade at a particular group. So when you throw shade at a particular group and say toxic masculinity, which is a false equivalent word, what are you talking about? Like what are you really saying? You really want to say you want a young man so you could mold and groom him to your liking. That's all.
Mm. Shout out to Percy, man.
And you know what's deep, right? And shout out to brother Percy, right? What's deep is I have friends who literally will not date women like her. They'll look at her and be like, why she 50 years old and she ain't got no kids? Those are, as they say, red flags. Cats look at that stuff. Now, I ain't never think about that stuff. That was never in my thought process, but we've gotten to the point now, and speaking of them, is that they think, I'm gonna grow old, I'll be all right, and I'm be content. Chef, see, I got a article. I just saw it in the paper that I send the thing. Hold on. Let me pull
Yeah,
it up for you.
drop that. In the meantime, I'm go, brother Negro. You there, brother Negro? Are you up to speed, brother Negro?
Yeah, I see that y'all talking about Ella Ross. Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
you. And
yeah, yeah.
she thought she was gonna get the Madonna life, right? White
Mm.
is right, right? Because Madonna was doing the same thing too. I be seeing the celebrities. I be, I don't dibble and dabble in the gossip, but I be seeing it.
Yeah.
So my take on it is this: is that yeah, it's a little socially awkward. But I can't really throw too many stones because, like, I don't hit a couple of people back in the day that when I was in my 20s. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I knew that it was not gonna be nothing that was gonna last. Like, so I think that if she's fishing in that type of pool and that type of mindset, she got to keep in, like, she's only making herself look disposable. You know, it's making her look
Mm,
bad. And that's a bad look. She deserved better, or she should want to do better, or change her personality a little bit to make her more appeasing. Versus being, I guess, a combative, because it comes across like she's combative, like the men in her age group or the people that are around her age group are telling her this is the standard and the expectation socially, and she does not want to adhere to that, right? So I find that that's very kind of interesting in that dynamic getting pushed, and her trying to make her behavior more acceptable, and then she tries to point her fingers with, well, these men do it too. Like, it doesn't really make it per se right. So I find the whole situation very interesting.
Well. Here's my thing. The reason we didn't go straight to Tracy Ellis's clip is because this is clears to be a nationwide sentiment as far as the way these type of women think. Now, granted, listen, his life is life be life in some time. In many situations, right? So a shorty could have been widowed, right? She may have had fraternal issues, right off the pop, but she had a man and he passed away. I understand that, right? You getting back in the game, you trying to holler, see what's popping out there. So I understand that part. But a short like you got shorties in and out of relationships, pushing 50 or in their 50s and above, Taraji P. Henson, then you got the sideline chicks that aspire to be single, want to live vicariously through their single friends. Shout out Michelle Obama, right? All of these chicks, man, I think a lot of times it becomes very dangerous for a single shorty. I mean, for a shorty that's in a relationship to be around single women.
Misery loves company.
Always.
And you even seen it this weekend when during the Mary J. Blige, she did a show or something, and she just blacked out, talking about I'm tired of these niggas, and like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because it is a select group of women who are all saying the same thing. So what's the problem? You want to say the men are the problem, but I don't see no older men complaining about the dating pool. They doing them. Whatever they consider doing them or having a good time, they doing them, as we see with Shannon Sharp. But far as the women, you see a bunch of women and they do it, they'll get on a podcast and they'll complain about what they consider a sorry ass man or men their age. And like, I almost think it's like it literally is a play, because you may be on a podcast or a show to talk about one thing, and some way or another you're using your avenue and your platform to blast the men that you meet, because you're the picker. I ain't picking these men for these women. They picking them themselves, and they get mad at when they, got to deal with the shit that they done picked.
Well, peep this. Let's play some more of this.
Wait,
And
wait,
this
wait,
is
wait, wait, wait,
and
wait, wait. Can I comment on
go
one
ahead,
thing?
Negro. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the one thing is, I think some of these women really wanted to date white guys from jump on the low, and at the time frame, culturally wise, it was not acceptable, and it would mess up the bag. Got to keep in mind. I'll use Miss Ross as an example, right? She was at that time frame. She was hanging around Kanye West, all those other black celebrities. If she was messing around with some white boy, you really think that they'll give her some bread for popping up at her movie shoot and all that? I don't really think so, like that. You dig where I'm coming from? Men are starting to become more smarter in how we leverage our money to try to curb certain undesirable behavior. Shout out to Chris Brown, right? He's saying how he be moving. So 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 that's what I so so that's what I was talking. So that's what I was talking about in regards to that, like that men are starting to wisen up and use their money to insulate themselves away from certain type of undesirable type of women.
Well, I'll tell you what, brother Negro. I mean, I'm gonna spend some more of this because look, this is the chick who's now being positioned as some form of authority. Right? This right here. This is your authority on on the black experience, quote unquote, feminism.
For instance, intimate partnership, that what we can do is sort of do that black thing that we do very well, which is that we can creatively reimagine to have black love in a world that doesn't want us to have it.
Let's talk Beyonce.
Yes.
When she came out as a feminist, there was some pretty vicious pushback from some black feminists.
I don't want to say that legitimate critique is not valid, right? There are legitimate critiques to be had of every artist. She was drawn to feminism because it gave her a language to name some of the things she was going through in her own life. And in 2016, when we got Lemonade, it became really clear why somebody like Beyonce would want to have the sort of arsenal that you get from black feminism, because black feminism helps you think about what happens when you're the most powerful chick in the game, you're married to one of the most powerful dudes, and he still won't treat you right.
All right. So what I'm learning here, ladies and gentlemen, is that feminism in general is a projection, right? For the quote unquote caged or caged bird in some of these females. Right? Let's blame everybody else for your bullshit. Blame everybody else. She chose Jay-Z. Let's be clear. She's still choosing Jay-Z. Kamala Harris, help me out.
Let's really be clear about that.
She's still choosing Jay-Z.
And one of the things that is perceived is that just because, and this is where this whole feminism thing, and I don't call myself an expert or really a knowledgeable person on it. I wish Dr. Short was here, because I know he's been doing a lot of studies on it over the years, is that even though Beyonce has made some very interesting records as far as women having a voice women being in the forefront and so forth and so on, that does not automatically make her a feminist. I think the assumption is that she is, and the way that this young lady presents it is that she had to be going through something with her husband. No, she ain't. Whatever her and Jay Z got going on, they're still together. They still choosing to be together. So it's funny that she tries to correlate whether Beyonce is a feminist or not to say whether she has got problems in her marriage. So she's basically telling the audience that you can't have a man and be a true feminist.
Mm.
You
She
can't have a man and be a true feminist.
Q. She came out with a song called "All the Single Ladies." Put your hands up. Get single. All of y'all single chicks hollering at, listening to Beyonce, and she married in a motherfucker.
And this is a chef C, and this is one of the things that I have been really concerned about in the last few months is that we have to understand, definitely from the aspect of people that are on the ground, people that are grassroots, celebrities, entertainers, uh, people, white degeneracy. We have to understand that our trauma, be that it is made, no matter where it is, whether it's racial issues, equality issues, our trauma is big business.
Right.
So if Beyonce made that song, some people don't know how to just take it as just a song. Some people took that as like, and you're right, an anthem for all the single ladies, but she's telling them one thing, but she's doing another. So she's profiteering off of their trauma. It's not her trauma.
Got these
It's not
shorties
something
down
she's
bad.
going through. And that is one of the biggest problems that we have today. We think that somebody is down with our cause, they in the same thing as us. They ain't us. You very rare gonna find a group of people who have commonality to you,
Mm.
let alone somebody that's making money off of it. They making money. She's an entertainer making money. She made single ladies now all these feminists want to use it as their anthem. This is
Looking
the
stupid.
this is the
Going home, feeding the
yeah,
dog, feeding the cat,
yeah.
quiet as
Me,
shit in the
me.
house. You got a big house, right? Your house is fly. Yeah, you got the big house, and it's crickets in that motherfucker,
Meanwhile,
right?
she got 3 kids with her husband and happy. No matter what we may think or not, they still together. And this is the sad part about it is that we're being programmed. You're being programmed, and she's trying to be in solidarity with Beyonce. Beyonce ain't think about you on the root, girl.
Right, right, right.
I have a question. Why is she assumed that she's a feminist instead of a womanist? In some regards, because she does advocate for women's rights. She advocates for like the whole of certain. She does certain things. I think that aligns more into that realm than actually a full fledged feminist,
Mm.
because she talks about some of her songs talk about family, her life, having children. The song "Best I Ever Had," and those are hit singles of her talking about family dynamic and stuff like that. So I really think that people are just not taking Beyonce in her totality, and they're just taking one segment of her life and blowing it up as this is like the essential who she is. And I think that that's very misleading and deceptive.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not going to stop anytime. Salute to the 60 plus in the building. It's definitely not going to stop anytime because there's always a hurt, quote unquote, hurt female looking to blame somebody else for her experience instead of taking accountability, but then reminding you that she a grown ass woman at the same time. Come on. I don't think that y'all gonna have to spin that back because I don't think motherfuckers heard what I just said. Right? Grown ass woman, but everybody else is to blame for her experience and her choices. All right? You don't need no man, But the second you turn around, that man is the one who broke your heart. Well, you had to have the opportunity to do it. And a lot of these feminist females out here, they like to act like this is caveman times when niggas is going in the cave, catching them and busting them upside the fucking head and pulling them out the cave and blowing their backs out.
And they really, when you think about it, they've really minimized their worth. They think that it's the man that has made them unworthy and minimized their worth, but they've minimized it themselves. They've minimized themselves where they get to a point where they're of that age and they may be lonely. And then when somebody questions them about being lonely, the first thing they say is, "Oh no, I'll get mine, girl. I got a friend."
Right.
That's all you got? You got somebody that's giving you somebody's booty call?
Mm.
Like, or you believe that's all you bring to the table now? That's all you bring. Oh, because you feel like somebody don't align up with you with your degrees. So the least thing that he could bring you is sex, and that's all you bring to the table for that particular individual is sex.
And watch this, Q. A lot of times shorties out here think that their friend, when their female friend asks them about their relationship, they think that they're checking in to see if it's still going good. No, they want you to be just as lonely as they are. When a single friend, let me be clear, a lot of y'all friends ain't really y'all friends, especially when you get a man. Huh? They checking in to see if this shit is finally over or if it's some shit that they can hear from you so they can throw some salt into your situation. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times when they close that motherfucking door, there's only so much the dog can do. It's only so much that cat can get popping. Right? Real heterosexual women need a man, desire a man. That energy, that smell hit different. But these chicks, a lot of these chicks, they be closet lesbos. I just prefer them to come out and keep it a buck. If you a beau and you like to go ahead and toss salads and shit, do that. Stop coming out here with this. Oh, well, he treats you lesser than it. Get this shit out of here. Let's play some more though. But then they look like this. He wasn't the reason why you look like this, shorty. He didn't stop you from going to the gym, sweetheart. He didn't tell you to eat that extra burger. Huh? Where is he in sight? Brother Negro. Where the hell is he that got her looking like this? Okay.
And the thing about it is it comes to not being able to explain your emotional needs. She should be able to explain her emotional needs as a woman. They're different than emotional needs as a man. She should be able to explain that, but you're not going to be the center. And that's what it comes down to, Chef C. They want to be the center of attention. They want to be the breadwinner in the household. They want to run shit. They want to, and it's a sick ideology. And the crazy part about it is that even if they thought it was about representation, the first thing that they'll do is they'll say it has nothing to do with the black nuclear family. Yes, it does. You're an enemy to it, the black nuclear family.
Come on.
You're dangerous. You don't want it. And you want it on your terms. It's not going to be on your terms. It don't change for nobody. It is what it is. And that's when, as we would say, the culture was doing healthy and we were doing healthy as a community. We were only doing healthy as a community when one thing was going on, the black nuclear family. The minute that started getting picked away at, that's when all the chaos and confusion started. But I see that we got
Well, I got to get the brothers in here, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the wolf is in the building. Brother Juan J. Johnson sliding on the back door with him, Paul, brother Dr. Randy Short. These gentlemen are both in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to y'all, gentlemen. Salute. Brother Juan, sir, how are you this afternoon, sir?
Man, I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm doing good, man. I'm just celebrating on this day. Some 15 years ago, I was in a real bad car accident. I broke some ribs, broke my femur, broke a pelvis, unconscious, and I'm still here.
Oh,
And you would never know I had all this type of these injuries. But it's just this day, about 15 years ago, I had a real bad car accident. So I'm doing great. I'm celebrating, because I'm a new person. I'm thankful. I'm grateful for being here, but I'm ready to talk about feminism.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Brother YJ Johnson. Brother Dr. Randy Short, sir. Are you there, sir?
It's white Jesus in the black church.
There we go. There you go. There. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Yes, indeed. Let's get it going.
Well,
Talk to me, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to say, just supernatural circumstances. We've got to do a part 2 and 3 to this, so we can really give it time. I'm going to see the film Sinners, which is we should do a film about black feminists called Sinners, or actually even make it short Hell, because that's where they all belong. I'm going to be seeing that within the hour, but I want to say that black feminists are a terrorist hate group, and they must be designated by any patriarch, any serious person. Feminism is a war crime against the black community. A black feminist is a collaborator with white supremacy. She's a collaborator with sodomites, eugenicists, gentrifiers, and other assorted human rights violators. You cannot love your theology bullshit more than you do your people. So, if killing our babies, destroying families, destroying communities, being fat, ugly, mean, nasty, and having mental problems and destroying men and promoting sodomy, as well as oral sodomy for yourselves, I think men still do it better for women than women do it on women. If that weren't true, studs wouldn't be so hostile. So as it is, brothers, we must do more of this, and we need to do this where I'm not under siege for time. And I apologize, things out of my control are going on today. This has been going on for quite a minute, but feminism is a social disease. It is a social menace. And alongside the feminist is a fagonist. The fagonist is a sorry ass, simplified, bitchified black man who would cut his own nuts off and all the rest of our nuts off to please a traitor black feminist. He hates everybody else to please a woman that hates him. In fact, I was giving an example to my friend where I said to her, if I were no good Negro, like most fagonists are, and I promised to make an appearance on Pat Talk, I would say, well, you guys don't have pussies, so I can break my promise to all of you to be with the person that does have a pussy. And no matter how even if you paid me, you guys are gay to expect me to have any commitment to my word or my honor when it's another person with a vagina involved. which is how most sorry ass Black men who empower their own elimination, the same brothers that would justify and be in love with the bitch that would snitch and get them and their friends killed and put in jail. And Juan Johnson knows these guys still love these hoes. You know, they're just the opposite. In fact, a Black man has become the beaten wife that can't leave her husband. Now it's the Black man who gets the shit kicked out of him economically, psychically, spiritually, emotionally, and he can't break it off. And many times he's not even getting any sex or food. These hoes can't cook, they don't screw, they don't mother, they don't share money. Just by fact, it's sort of like, can you imagine eating, you know, when you go into a fake ass Asian store and they have pictures up that shows what the food looks like, and you know that's not real food and it's not the shit that they're selling. I can't eat artificial apples and grapes and shit and be fed. Well, Black men pretend that this artificial, sometimes cash and carry sex with STDs, bastards, and lawsuits and police and revenge murders, sometimes from stud lovers, sometimes from dud lovers. This isn't sustainable. This is insane. And I love my brother who died 10 years ago, the 30th of this month. My brother was a fagonist. And this is why he got his big bloated ass deleted, kissing his wife's ass and being her slave. And she didn't cook. She had no children. She's morbidly obese, mentally challenged. I mean that. In fact, if that, 6 faces or 7 faces of Eve, it should be 50 for this nigger. I know so many destroyed Black men who are beggars to the sorriest cast of morbidly obese, rude, uncouth, nasty, unsavable by even Jesus Christ himself. Hoes. The only thing that they're loyal to is their tab at Golden Corral. And to a high caloric, artery hardening, diabetes inducing syndrome. That's the only thing they've got loyalty to. They don't even care about the kids. These hoes are
really clear about that.
They're divorce queens. They're basically Fight Club with ovaries. They will turn a good child into a gangster before they're 10. The only thing that they tell the truth about is, what they tell the truth about is that they're a woman, but barely so. And by the way, these same no good pork chop feminists who can't stand if you even speak to them with any bass in your voice will seek out a woman with bass in hers and take beatings, learn to be a short order cook, if not a chef, become a foodie, will lose weight, will even have a baby for a woman that kicks the shit out of them like a soccer ball. And stay in a relationship like that, even if it destroys the kids. We have millions of such people. And as I was saying to one of the people that's listening to this, and she says out of the 20 million Black women that are out here, at least 10 million of them are good. And I dissented. I said, I think maybe 2.5 million is good. The others are throwaways, ma'am. I mean, just STDs alone just bite into those numbers. The pelvic inflammatory disease rate. You can't have babies. God, you've had enough abortions. You guys should have aces and shit. You should put stars and shit on your forehead for all the babies you've killed. I mean, certain people look like an American flag. The blue part, like the only part I kind of like. Can you imagine they have stars covering everything for all the babies that you've killed? And it makes you weird. It makes you hateful. It makes you cruel. And I won't even get into so many of you are pedophiles. You molest the boys and the girls. Yes, you do. You make the girls gay. You make the boys gay. And yet you hate homosexuality. If you even suspect a man does what you do 10 times as much. Fascinating. You're the architect of much of the homosexuality by not protecting the children from your part-time lovers, male and female. You have allowed 1 in 9 of our children or more to be in the custody of Child and Family Services. You sell as much as or more than the kings of ancient Benin. You sell your children to sodomites of other races and these apartment buildings that are mixed income and Child and Family Services. You allow pastors and pimps and boyfriends and snap grifters, couch surfing Negroes to rape our children. You can't even take your fat asses up to PTA for all the free lunch, free breakfast, and after school services that allow you to be the sorry ass mothers who can't even breastfeed if your tits the size of the Empire State Building. You guys need to get your asses beat. Hell is too good for you.
Yo, that's short, man. You all right, man? Hey, man, he came through. Shout out to Shiesty, though. Salute to the 80 plus in the building as
Shiesty
well.
came in here angry. She angry at this title, boy. Woo!
I like Shiesty doing what Shiesty does. Good to see you again, Shiesty. Holla at me, you heard?
Get your troll on.
Yeah, Shiesty in the building, man.
Well, she might be guilty. Are we talking about you? Probably. You know, trying to think. And by the way, there's something that they never can find. A scale that tells them the actual weight that they want to be. Good luck. I hope you find it.
Let's really be clear about that.
Oh, man. Listen. Let me go ahead and play some more of this Femi John. And then I'm going to go to what you got in here, Q. What you got lined up on the standby for me, man. I bring the rest of the brothers up to speed real quick if they are not. Let's go ahead and get this Femi sister on.
Because he is intimidated by your power. Feminism is the thing that helps you think about that, because I think it's the kind of resource that helps Black girls when you're up late at night wondering why your relationship is not working and you don't want to keep on internalizing it as a problem with you. Black feminism can hold that Black girls have hurts and pains that no one else has ever listened to.
What? Hey, yo, man. What? I'm confused, man. I'm confused. Shout out to Shiesty. Shiesty said that the panel talking about weight is crazy.
But
Shout out to Shiesty.
The funniest thing, right, Chef C?
Yeah.
Is everybody in the panel, I might be the only one that might be the biggest one. I'm the big guy. Nobody else on the panel is big but me, Shiesty. and to be perfectly honest with you, you know what it happens, right? And Shiesty, I'm going to take not a personal shot at you, but I'm going to take a shot at you, right?
Yeah, cook.
Because
Shiesty.
you came on here, right, Shiesty? You didn't know what the context of the show was, and you got offended. And this is what happens in our community because we're talking about a woman issue, and you feel like you have some solidarity with this woman. And you may not have no solidarity with this woman unless you're a feminist. And this is what happens. You can't critique her. You can't critique her ideology. So when we do it, you get upset and you want to attack us. I am the only person on the panel that's a big guy. So I don't take it personal if you said you were to say anything about me. You don't know me personally. So get your troll on. Just make sure you hit the like and the share button and donate to the program.
Hey, yo, Shiesty, you a damn fool, Shiesty. I was born into feminism. Shiesty a damn fool, yeah. Shiesty, hit the like. Hit the like, Shiesty. Shiesty is a damn fool, yo. Good to see you, Shiesty. Salute, man. Salute, man. Listen, let's go ahead on and Q, let me go to your clip, man. I think you got an article in here we need to pull up. Let me bring this up right quick, sir. Let me see if I can bring this to the stage. Let me stop this. Bring this one up. Boom. Okay.
Can you scroll that or I have to do it? You can scroll that, right?
Let me see. Can I scroll it? No, sir. You got to scroll it. It's on you. Yeah, it's on you, fam.
And over, our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Jen Ashton, is here with more about this study. Explain what the study found.
So first of all, remember, loneliness is now considered,
hold on, Q,
ready,
real quick,
on
pause
par with bad for our health. With
yeah, it's an article with it. It's an article with it, and this was I had seen Sister Star's comment about being lonely, and I just remembered I seen this article, this clip earlier, where it talks about when people have these crazy ideologies, they're getting older and lonely, and how it leads to strokes.
Copy.
You want me to finish playing it? You hear me, Chef?
Some more of that. It's breaking up. I think our connection is slowly breaking up for whatever reason. But go ahead and play that clip if you can.
smoking and sitting. Okay, that is how bad it is for our physical and mental health. This recent study really looking at the question, how much loneliness is associated with the risk of stroke, because it has been associated before. And in this study of adults over the age of 50, they found that chronic loneliness, so not occasional loneliness, but chronic loneliness was associated with a 56% increased risk of stroke down the road. So again, I think we have to remember, connect the dots on how we feel emotionally, how we feel physically, and then certain health outcomes down the road that we are trying to avoid.
Astonishing that it's on par with smoking.
That's right.
and sitting.
Yeah.
What are the theories behind this?
Well, a lot of theories, but we know that, first of all, loneliness can have a physiologic effect. So it increases the cellular stress. You know, it gets our kind of cortisol system into a revved up state. That can then lower our immunity. It can increase blood pressure. And then behaviorally, people who say they're lonely are also more likely to have poor sleep patterns, more likely to smoke and drink, less likely to be compliant or adherent with medications maybe that they're taking. And remember, you can be alone and not be lonely. This is not the same as being depressed, although obviously there's overlap. So targeting loneliness is potentially a major intervention in our health.
And you recently interviewed the U.S. Surgeon General about what he called the epidemic of loneliness. What are some tips that he suggested to combat it?
You know, he called loneliness in 2017 a national epidemic. And so he was talking with me just this past weekend on some tips. 3 easy things that we can all do today to help ourselves and others, spending just 5 to 15 minutes a day reaching out to someone. That can be via text, phone, in person. If you are reaching out to someone, you have to give that person undivided attention. You can't multitask and think that you're helping them or yourself. And then engaging in acts of service. This can be formal, it could be informal, like picking something up if someone drops it. That helps that person. It also helps us.
So staying connected in some way.
For
All
sure.
right, Dr. Jen, always helpful. Thank you so much.
So that lonely shit, that's part of that. Listen, that's where the crazies is coming from. When this is what happens, this is the side effect of prioritizing career over family. All right, this is what happens when you want to be Miss Independent. Nobody can tell you shit. You start dealing with shit like this. Listen. I'm here to tell you. I don't care what nobody say. For me, I like relationships. I like having me a shorty, a quality breezy, to come back to the crib with, do something, build something, have something, as long as she quality. But just having a chick around for company, I don't want that. Dud on the, I'd rather have a pet. You feel me? Than have a chick with no substance around your blood. So in the situation like this, a lot of chicks, because they prioritize other things that don't make them feel whole, you then settle for that dog, that cat, or Pookie. Pookie get to come through every once in a while, late night, blow your back out, disappear, and then you saying to yourself, why nobody love me? Pookie getting more cheeks than a stand-up guy. Because there's a lot of chicks going into their 50s, 60s, talking about they single, independent, they got their doctorates and all of this, and they don't need no man. But they need Pookie every once in a while. Pookie coming through, cause they be damned if they letting that dog dick them down.
Or the rose. Or the rose.
So yeah, I mean, listen. So we got to be realistic about it. But you know what? Let me go to Tracy Ellis real quick, because we're going to back up what Q just played, right? Either they going for the dog or they thinking they can go groom them up a young boy. Shout out to Mary J. Blige, right? But in this case, let's go with Tracy Ellis real quick. Fair use.
I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had
And look at your girl. Look at your girl, Michelle Obama, trying to live vicariously through her. See? Single women will get a married female.
Craig ain't bringing nothing masculine to the conversation. Craig is just there. He's bringing nothing masculine to the conversation. He looks like he's one of their girlfriends.
Because he's zesty too. We know that. A heterosexual male can spot a zesty from anywhere. Use a closet zesty. You know what I mean? And that's okay. If you were zesty, just keep that a buck. But he was supposed to be the one bringing the masculine energy to this podcast, and it never landed because he got more zest than Michelle. Let's play this.
Great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes.
Look at this. I'm single, independent. I can do whatever I want. Don't tell me what to do. Okay. Well, that I have your ass sitting there talking about the mental illnesses, the mental problems that you're having because you didn't make the right decisions. Keep doing whatever you want. I bet you she got hella mileage on that thing. Hella mileage. All right? That's why a young bull that got some shit going on, he know. Tracy Ellis Ross says she looking for a young bull. You go through door to door and you bang these 50-year-old females out. Take a little something home with you on your way out. Take a little something home with you. Boy, I'm so happy I'm not single, man. Thank God.
And the thing about it is, when she says younger men, this is not 5-6 years younger than her. She's 9 out of 10 talking about 20, 25 years younger than her. And regardless of the legality of it, is when you see a middle-aged person, and I'm commenting and I'm answering Shiesty's question because she brought up Shannon Sharp. When you see a middle-aged person dating a kid, they're trying to groom them. Period.
That's it, man.
We're not talking about someone who is potentially want to marry somebody. They may be younger, the age, whatever. And we know other ethnicities and races do it. But when we're talking about a specific mentality, Tracy Ellis Ross is telling us, and she's not really, you can catch it if you pay attention. I don't deal with guys my age because they're stuck in their ways. So I'm going to find me someone younger to groom and mold him into my liking. That's all it is. Instead of her saying that men her age was toxic masculinity and guys that's younger, they view life a little bit different than an older person, just say that. But the bottom line is she's trying to groom a younger guy in their way.
Shout out to the 90 plus in the building.
And this is
Brother,
you can do that, but you're going to get pushback from the community.
you know what? Let me play a little bit more of this, and then I got to go to the wolf, man. I got to go to the wolf.
This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracy's. It's fun. It's very fun to share. Tracy takes.
Look at it. Look at Michelle Obama want to pull one of them twins. What's that chick? Tamara?
Yeah,
she want to get back in the streets and see if it's popping out in them streets. She want to do it so bad. She gonna run back to Bathhouse Barry in a heartbeat once she find out them streets ain't got no friends. Keep laughing, ha ha ha. Yeah, and you're not the belle of the ball anymore. You're not a prize anymore. You're too old.
Black Larry said it's a go. So as he see Tracy Ellis Ross.
Black Larry, lay her down, man. Get the tuition paid for, player.
Get the knock those cobwebs all the way out.
Clear her out, Black Larry, for the patriarchy, family. Black Larry, clear her out, fam. You understand me? Salute our brother Black Larry, man.
The wolf looked like he's ready to definitely just kick caucuses. He ain't even stepping over him no more. He ready to kick him.
Well, you got to make sure they're dead when you kick them.
Right. Check in first. Make sure.
So I'm gonna say this. I think that a matter of fact, I'm gonna drop this definition of feminist in the chat because we're not talking about feminists right now. We're talking about misandries.
Okay, come on.
Now, I don't have a problem with feminists to a certain degree. Okay. Again, just drop the definition in the chat. Talks about an advocate of women's rights on the basis of equality of the sexes, a person who supports feminism, related to feminism. Look, women had this support just by the state of America. There's no freer women in the Western Hemisphere than Black Americans and white Americans. So we've been on board with feminism. That's why you're seeing it in operation. But what we're not on board with is misandry. I'm gonna drop that because this is the hatred, the dislike, the discontent, the prejudice against men. We're seeing that right now. So we don't deal with misandry. But feminism has evolved to misandry. And I'm not on board with that. Because you can't act like you can't say you love God and you hate men.
Right. Right. Come on.
Now, we all love God. We listen to God, but you hate God's greatest creation. True on that fact, feminists. How you say you love God who you never seen and you hate your brother, your man you see every day? This feminism piece have evolved to a hatred towards males and men. And everybody want to act like that's not the case.
Because of sorry ass poor decision making.
Come on.
And lack of accountability. Tracy Ellis Ross, listen, she's not an unattractive woman. She's a very attractive woman, very accomplished woman. She made certain decisions and choices in her life, and she if you listen to what she's saying, it ain't working out for her because the men that has chose, the older guys, men are very, like me and Chef C explained earlier, men are very, it don't take much. It don't take much. It really don't. But you're not going to come and try to change that man. You're not going to come and try to use your accomplishments and your accolades as a qualification to be over him.
But Q, that's the problem. You're trying to change what God put in place. Again, I'm about to drop another scripture in the chat because again, we're dealing with a group of people who don't like God. That hurts to say that. We're dealing with people who they rarely even talk about God. They hate God's word, man, and they hate God's man.
Shiesty, the show that we're doing right now is called Pat Talk. What we do in this show is we are men who agree with bringing the patriarch back to the black nuclear family. We are advocates, strong advocates of women. We don't hate women.
Mm-hmm.
However, we are men that know how to hold each other accountable, and we know how to hold women accountable. A lot of men cannot hold women accountable because they're too busy chasing their dick. A lot of women can't hold other women accountable because they too busy trying to be on the woman code. So when you hear us talk, it may appear to be one thing, and you have to, respectfully take us in our totality and what we're trying to prove and the objective that we're trying to do. We are men who are advocating for the black nuclear family. Anything that is against that is an enemy to us.
And God.
Yes, period.
That part.
Period.
That
Now
part.
we may go about it a different way or a different avenue, but that's just who we are. We're not, and we have no problem calling dudes out. And this ain't a Shannon Sharp show, but Shannon Sharp is older than me, and he's a piece of shit in my opinion for dealing with a 19-year-old girl, whether she was a sex for hire or whatever. That's a kid. All three of his children is older than that girl. So I ask that you continue to support the shows, continue to support us, and then you'll really get a glimpse of how we move and what we're doing with our shows.
Well, I'll tell you what, gentlemen. Let's play a little bit more of this. I see the Negro check back in. Salute, brother Negro. Let's play some more of this.
I'm here.
I'm sorry.
But one of the reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied.
Okay, let me stop there real quick. Tracy Ellis, 50 plus years old, right?
Talking about a partner. Not a husband, a partner.
Bingo. Why the fuck? Why is partner coming out of this seasoned woman's mouth? And you know why I believe that is being pushed through the lexicon? Because it gives people an out to be degenerates, to be fluid. Right now, if you wanna do extra fly shit, do it on your time, but don't project it to the world. Right? This partner thing now. What you okay? So if you're eating a chick out, you want to just bring them on in there, yeah. Everybody love everybody. Will Farrell, help me out.
Everybody love everybody. Come on.
Okay, I get it. Right? If you just feel like having sex with a dog, your partner should join in. You want a partner.
Everybody love everybody. Come on.
This is what I'm getting from this chick. But this sounds like a chick who done got passed around way too much. She's drying up the Ross last name. You ruined the Ross name. Okay? And now you're trying to figure out different ways to siphon out a vehicle, which is you, that has already 300,000 miles on it.
I mean, the interesting thing, Chef C, is all of what she said, the substance of what she said, none of it meant nothing, but it meant everything. The calling men her age toxic masculinity, false equivalent, right? all of what she's saying now about a partner, just say, look, I'm a woman of a certain age. I date younger guys. That's what I like. Just say that. But what happens is you have to justify why you're doing something. So you want to talk about all the other stuff. You're the picker. Relationships, I don't care who it is. You are the picker of what you want. It's people out here. I don't care how bad you did something in the past, how many mistakes you did. You pick what you want, and you're gonna find what you want. You're out there. If you want to be a woman of a certain age or a guy of a certain age, and you want your boots knocked, that's it. Just say that. But when you enter this stuff on a podcast and allow us to critique it, cut the bullshit with throwing shots at a particular group of people.
Can I go left, family?
Well, check this. I'm gonna go back to you, brother. I'm gonna go to you, Negro. Shout out to my nigga Shiesty. She's a millionaire though. Yeah, she's a lonely, childless, unwifed, dried up coochie trying to auction off Jezebel. That's what she is. Who happens to have money? Whoop de fucking do. Okay, she gets to afford a more expensive, lonely lifestyle, miserable lifestyle. Okay, so she gets to drink Saratoga or Pellegrino by herself instead of the store brand of seltzer water. What we talking about? There's millionaire men who are getting cheated on by their wives every freaking day, getting divorced because the grass is quote unquote greener. They're millionaires.
But Chef,
This shit don't mean nothing. Nothing.
That's the argument that they have is I make more than him, so he should come under me. Or
right, come on with
I
it.
got more education, he should come under me. But I'm gonna drop this scripture in there. I'm gonna drop this one too. Boom, 316.
Huh? Let me pull it up. Come on, let's pull 360 up. Shiesty, read 360. Shiesty.
Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and your desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over you. Okay? Now, what does that mean? From the feminist perspective, let me zip my shirt up. From the feminist perspective, in misandry, ain't no man gonna rule over me. Ever. So you're going against the scriptures. You're going against the patriarch being in the mind of God. See, people not connecting the patriarch to God. They're just saying the patriarch is about men. It is about men and not being equal. No. And trying to raise feminism on feminists, but feminism is already here. We already have the results of feminism. The results are in. It ain't working. Because the feminism has now evolved to misandry, the hatred of men and God. And every time I hear a feminist talk about the matriarch of feminism, they rarely, if ever, bring up God. Ever, or the scriptures. And that's the problem. Because the hatred for God and God's man and the order. That's why Genesis 18 was so important when I posted it, when God said, when Elohim said, when Yahweh said, or however you describe him, said, should I hide from Abraham the thing I want to do for him, knowing he's going to be a great person in the earth? He's going to lead his children in the ways of the Lord. It did not say Sarah. It said Abraham, not Sarah. They wasn't co-pastoring. And Sarah and Abraham were not partners. They was husband and wife. Okay, and she said that book is she said that book is misogynistic. God didn't write it. So what? It worked. It's been working. It's been working for thousands of years. It works. Okay. See, we don't.
Hey,
We want.
Shiesty, I want to ask you a question. And I'm asking Chef C, please don't put her comments on the screen. And the reason why I'm asking Chef C not to put her comments on the screen, I don't need our ordained brother to see her comments. I don't want Brother Juan to see what you're writing. Brother Juan, please don't look at the comments. But I want to ask you a question, Sister Shiesty, because you are someone who is supporting the program, and we appreciate your support of the program, even though we may disagree, right? What are you modeling your life after? You say you're not following the Bible. Look, I'm not Christian. The brother's Christian. And I can be on a panel with brothers that's Christian. So I want to ask you, what are you modeling your life after? What's your criteria? Live and let live?
Hey, and Brother Negro, I believe, Brother Negro, you a Christian too, sir? I'm not a Christian.
Yep. All day, man. I'm trying to get the Holy Ghost and all that stuff. So I'm on that side of the track. Yep. Trying to get reading the word when I get the chance. Yeah, all that. Yep. Mhm.
Well, I am a believer in a greater being than myself. Some see it as God, others see it as creator, etc., etc. I just know whatever I have is not because of me, right? It's because of something greater.
You don't have to follow the Bible to be spiritual.
Right. I lean into spirituality all day, not religion.
Shiesty, I get the premise of what exactly you're saying, and I don't want the show to be us going back and forth because it's not the purpose of the show. But
right.
I just want to know, because Brother Juan had basically explained, like, this is a guide, this is the criteria, this is the framework, this is the template that he follows, and why this society, the United States of America, or the Turtle Island, whatever we want to call this place, is a Christian Judeo society. It is incorporated in this society. So when I ask, what are you following, or what is your criteria? Because everybody, regardless of unconsciously, even a person that may say they're atheist, they follow a certain set of rules and guidelines that will govern them their life. And they'll even say it, I govern myself so others don't have to. So what are you using as a template to govern what you do every day? Oh, I'm doing that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get back onto this. But shout out
Happy
to Shiesty.
life. Oh shit, she done said that phrase.
Yeah, shout out to Shiesty, man. She trolling it to the fullest. Salute, Shiesty. Shout out to Shiesty, man. Let me play a little bit more of this clip before we get into what else.
I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity.
Let me go to the Wolf. Come on, Wolf. You're around her age, brother. So I gotta go to you. This is who they follow, man.
Well, and they're gonna get what they deserve. Look, I saw the interview. She's already admitted to Michelle that she's hurt, that she made a mistake.
Huh?
Okay. And now she's turned into super predator, cougar. Okay. At the expense of the young man's growth and reproduction, because she don't want no more kids, and the young man gonna want some children. You see, it's all backwards. It's all backwards, man. I think with us is this: we don't want instructions. We fight instructions. The whole world is looking at us saying, these folks are unruly. And if one is like that, then they're all like that. So when they come for one of us, they come for all of us.
That part.
And watch this. Let me just drop this shiesty definition inside the chat, because when I looked it up, I wanted to make sure, what shiesty meant. It's a slang term, right? Describes someone who was untrustworthy, deceitful, and dishonest.
Oh.
Okay? Can be used to refer to I'm just saying, a person who leads a shiestiness bum, I can't even give you no credit.
Negro, please. Everybody love everybody. Party. Somebody get this jigaboo away from me.
Yeah. But look.
Shout out to DW in the building.
Black feminism and black feminists have evolved to being misandrous. The hatred of men and males.
Oh, now you're talking about her main account?
wait, Brother Dwayne, Brother Wolf, I think it's genocidal.
It is.
I'm on a genocide and an ethnocide. Shout out to what was that? What was that little girl with the bangs? She had the bangs. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She was talking about genocide in black boys.
Yeah, I knew time.
Bangs.
Yeah, the bang. Yeah. What I'm saying, but watch this. The crazy thing is our women are not seeing that there are women leading them off the
this is a backup. The other one is called
Sugar
Bum.
They're not seeing that they're being drove off a cliff and there's no coming back from it. And that's why what we're doing is so important, because we're shining a light on the hatred of men. And yes, this whole feminism piece has evolved to misandry, which is a hatred, and not just for the men, but for the children, for babies. They're not even trying to have children. And the scripture says, whether they like it or not, the first commandment was to be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. They're not talking about being fruitful and multiplying and replenishing the earth. That's why I say, whether you subscribe to it or not, it's a book of structure. Just like the Quran, a book of structure. Just like the Torah, a book of structure. If you ain't got no structure, what do you got? Chaos. You got, I'm going to do my own thing. And that right there will lead to what? Anarchy. And you don't want to really see anarchy, because you ain't ready for that battle. That's why it's beautiful. Negro made a point maybe two broadcasts ago. Said, you know what? All these Twitter spaces, real life don't have no mute button.
Okay.
You get your ass whooped. Real life don't have no mute button. So you can hit mute on social media, Twitter. You can hit mute on YouTube, on Instagram. But in real life, it ain't no mute button. Once you put it out there, you're done.
Hey, check.
Chat has went crazy today.
It's Sister DW says she ain't gonna hold y'all. Younger men always trying to holler at her. Like, bruh, I'm old enough to be your auntie.
Everybody love everybody.
You know what I mean? Hey, listen.
It's a deaf culture, man.
But I think one of the issues, and I think that and I might be giving Sister Shiesty too much credit with what I'm about to say.
I think you are.
Right. I apologize, Lone Wolf, ahead of time, right? Because I've got to give her credit. I think one of the biggest issues, though, when we do discuss feminism and what as Brother Juan said, it has morphed into, and talking about certain instances and have these conversations, is a lot of our younger women, before they even understand the context of the conversation, they get very offended. They get very offended and divisive and think we're attacking women. For some reason, this critique has always been an attack on women, or people think it's an attack on women. It's not an attack on women. What it really is, it's a level of accountability. And it's unfortunate that this society has made it, whole culture has become prevalent and nobody wants to say nothing.
Right.
Body, yada, 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 yada. Nobody wants to say nothing. We think this is cute. We think this is promoted. We actually promote it to our kids. We got the sexy reds at the high schools. And the only reason why she gets turned away is because she smelled like weed. But what else does sexy red, what is sexy red even being invited to a school for? So,
That part, Brother Q.
we
I'm
need
going to
to-
say
we-
this, though, real quick.
Go ahead, Chef.
Go ahead.
No, I
No,
was
my
done.
fault. Go ahead.
I was
Okay.
done. I was done, bro.
I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to the 100+ in here. Let me play the rest of this clip. But we are still looking for our very first sponsor of today's broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. $FTS49. $FTS49 makes you the sponsor with a $20 contribution. Anybody who matches that becomes the co-sponsor, and anyone who surpasses it is the sole sponsor of the program, ladies and gentlemen. $FTS49. Let me play the rest of this here.
And have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me,
Yeah.
I did enough of it where
Yeah.
I was controlled and felt like I was a possession, or whatever those things were, or prize, and I have no interest in it. And
All right, let's listen. I always hear this stupid shit. You damned if you treat the chick like she's everything you ever wanted. You're damned if you don't pay her no mind. Like, it's very dangerous for women to try to force men to go on this roller coaster ride, to read your fucking mind. Okay? The nigga give a shit about you. Sometimes it's just that simple. He actually give a freak about you. Tracy Ellis Ross, whoever these folks were that supposedly was controlling her, as she says, salute to the 110+ in here. You put yourself in that environment, lady. And it is not like Tracy Ellis Ross would be, she's been famous for quite some time, right? So she's been around the quote unquote upper echelon of men to get chose up on. All right.
I mean, she starred in a show called Girlfriends that
Man,
talked about issues like this.
She was famous when she was in her mother's womb.
Come on, Ross. Right.
Before the sitcoms. She was famous before she was even born.
Oh, damn. He came in here with a wheel kick, Chef C.
Yeah. Let me
She was
read this real quick.
That girl Kyla came in here with a wheel kick.
At conception, because when Diana Ross announced to the world she was pregnant with her.
That was like that was like the second coming being born. You dropping that Ross name on the back of it.
Okay.
Like, come on, man. So I mean, and then you went around and she was mediocre at best. Like, what is her greatest role? Let's keep it a buck. What is she known for? What is her greatest role other than being on sitcoms? What has she done?
Being the daughter of Diana Ross.
Other than being butt naked on Instagram photos a couple times, showing your little cheeks and having the Ross name behind you. What has she done of significance? Individually, not the name.
Chef C, you are being corrected constantly in the comments, sir.
Oh,
we all
okay.
are. Silverstein.
Well,
we You're gonna let the sister cook. The sister cooking.
Let me go to that girl, Kyla. Kyla, easy on us. I sees you, Kyla. You understand me? She's a tragic mulatto. Her name is Tracy Silverstein. She's a plant. She can't go full white, so she's the leader of the black. Oh, yo, you a damn fool. Silverstein. She was getting the Passover a week ago.
Oh, literally.
Matzo ball souped like a mug.
You told me he was mine, Massa. You said when we was bringing him back from auction. Yours to turn into a proper field hand, and since
Silverstein. Gefilte fish. Gefilte fish. God damn. Let me see. So hold on. Let me see what's in the track. Is this opera effect? This guy's stupid.
I meant the Oprah. My bad.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, because because she died a billionaire. Like she didn't have no children to pass on her legacy. Like Stedman, never got married. Like I see kind of the same parallels of that, and she's like the second generation of that. She's a little bit younger, so I'm seeing how Oprah still to this day, her presence and her behavior is still admired and replicated in some way, shape, or form.
Well, and you know what? Shout out to my sister DW. Tracy and Shannon got a kick up. I respect this union. I think this makes sense. Tracy is out there publicly saying that auditions are open for youngins. And Shannon Sharp said, sis, you late to the game. I'm already out there getting it done. I got me a little OnlyFans John right now, and a few others. Yeah, although we know Shannon, you're a closet bandit, man. You got to keep it 100, man. Stop playing. You're a closet bandit. Okay? So we're looking at this situation here, and I'm saying to myself, man, listen, there is never Brother Short done came back with the hat on. He outside. Brother Dr. Short, talk to us, sir. Are you ready for the theater, sir? Are you en route to the show?
I'm ready for the
sir?
theater, but I forgot to tell people that I completely hate feminism, and they should too. And whatever we can't burn should be buried. And all feminists should be compelled to have 4 or 5 children so they can rediscover femininity and motherhood, and no infant formula allowed.
Right.
Mandatory cooking lessons, weight control, and anger management, mandatory training, tattoo removal, all children being DNA tested for proof of paternity, and so forth. We need to have an iron hand of patriarchy, save our people. Feminism must die so the black race can live.
Well, shout out to Brother Dr. Short. Shout out to Brother Dr. Short, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Tracy Ellis Ross, she's out there. She, auditions are open. Salute to my brother Black Laren, man. I know you got a shorty, brother Black Laren, but you might have to hit this lick. I'm aged out and I'm cuffed up. Pause. So this is your chance, brother Black Laren, to do one, take one for the team, man, because she out here looking for youngins. Get everything paid for, brother Black Laren. Get everything paid for. You understand me? But ladies and gentlemen,
ain't no trust fund big enough.
Let me drop the
link. Ain't no Bitcoin wide enough. Ain't no legacy big enough to make us want that fool.
Well, you know what? Hold up, real quick, gentlemen. We've been live for 2 hours and we have no sponsor for today, no contributions. I'm taking an intermission. Okay?
My fairy princess has come. I have to leave.
Yes,
I'm about to get an anti-feminist ride to the movies.
Yes, indeed. Salute to my sister Kim for coming through with the Cash App, keeping the kitchen open today. Salute to our sister Kim for checking in with us, man. Ladies and gentlemen, rock that flex bomb. Round of applause for my sister Kim for coming through, sis. We appreciate you, sis. We appreciate you. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this thing flowing the way we need to keep it going. Let me see right here. What else do I have? Pardon me. Let me see. What else do I have here? You know I got. Yeah, no doubt. Salute. Yeah, let's keep this thing going though, gentlemen. I have I believe I got another clip that I wanted to bring up, and it was another sister. Well, I guess she melanated shorty that was talking about the difference between white guys and white feminists and black feminists. But before we go to that, I want to bring up your homegirl. Taraji and your girl Michelle Obama, right? And the reason I got to bring this up is because Michelle said, listen, you know, a lot of folks was running around talking about me and Barack's situation, thinking that our marriage was in danger, yada, etc. You know, and I just had to do something that was meant for me in this scenario. Okay, I had to do something specifically for me. And that's part of the reason why I decided not to go to the Trump thing, you know, because I just didn't feel right, you know. So let's go ahead and bring this thing up. Again, another one, Taraji P. Henson being another one of these females, you know, an older female, nobody cuffing her up. Why ain't nobody cuffing you? Why aren't you sitting the hell down somewhere, Taraji? I'm just trying to understand. Why can't you just sit down? But no, we can't do it. We got to be out here running the woe is me play and think that shit. And Taraji's not a, listen, I'm going to keep it a buck. Taraji's not a bad looking female. That I can be honest about. C got to be honest. Taraji's not bad looking at all. She lucky I'm cuffed. You know, I give her a shot in the dark, but I would never wife her. Never. I would never take Taraji serious. I'm hitting the lick and I'm sliding. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with that. Because of the way she is out here. You know? And that's what just some meant like, okay, yeah, you were Grammy nominated and you did all of this. Again, that mean nothing to nobody. Listen, I holler, but then I holler. And I'll see you later. That's the type of time that I would be on. So let's go ahead and play this. Fair use.
And so practicing no in a very different way intentionally. But then this is what makes it hard because, you know, my decision to skip the inauguration, you know, what people don't realize, or my decision to make choices at the beginning of this year that suited me were met with such ridicule and criticism. Like people couldn't believe that I was saying no for any other reason, that they had to assume that my marriage was falling apart. Right. You know, it's like while I'm here really trying to own my life and intentionally practice making the choice that was right for me. And it took everything in my power to not do the thing that was right or that was perceived as right, but do the thing that was right for me. That was a hard thing for me to do. I had to basically trick myself out of it. And it started with not having anything to wear. I mean, I had affirmatively, because I'm always prepared for any funeral, anything. I walk around with the right dress. I travel with clothes just in case something pops off. So I was like, if I'm not going to do this thing, I got to tell my team, I don't even want to have a dress ready. Yeah. Right? Because it's so easy to just say, let me do the right thing.
But then you become a shock absorber.
Yeah.
And that's what women are. Yeah. Shock absorbers.
Yeah.
And
stop it. I mean, this is the Queen Victim Olympic right here. Every time I say, yo, Taraji, I had a little thing for you back in the day, shorty. Every time I say to myself, shorty, you was cute. I had a little thing, baby boy. They didn't do you right enough on baby boy. but you came up, you did some things for yourself, sister. You look all right. And then I hear you fucking talk, and then I'm just like, God, shut the hell up. Can you do me that favor? Shut up. Some females, they just get so damn ugly as soon as they open their mouths. Open their damn mouth. If you shut the hell up, you'll probably be wifed up. Huh? Can we, fellas, can we be honest? If some chicks just shut the hell up, you'll be wifed up. But you're blocking your blessings. You're blocking your blessings. You talk too damn much. Yeah. Just that quick hearing her say this, I said, Chef, you said if you was on the field, you would holler at her, man. Just that quick. I said, nah, nigga, you tripping. Nigga, you out your mind. So now, shock absorbers, fellas. Let's go into that a touch, right, brother Negro. Shock absorber. Taraji said, "Women, that's all we are. We just shock absorbers. We never get to feel nothing of our own. We never get to. We're just prisoners of our partner or companion or husband's aspirations. We never get to do nothing on our own." Brother Negro.
I call Cap every Mother's Day. Every Mother's Day. Father's Day, you get some socks. Yo, I even did.
Wake that. Yeah. Go there, Negro. Wake that up. Come on. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to go there. Yeah, Mother's Day is around the corner. Just letting y'all know. But anyway, just Mother's Day, you'll see mothers getting all types of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Father's Day, I barely see somebody looking out for the dad. I just normally get "I hate you, dad" messages and all types of crazy stuff, man. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Nobody gives a shit about dad on Father's Day. Dad, man, dad lucky if he get a phone call that day. You understand me? Mom, niggas is taking loans out to get some shit done for mom on Mother's Day. Niggas taking loans out.
That's that song.
Mama, you know I love you. That shit. Simps Anonymous. Right? These are the kids who became the son husbands. Yeah? They grow up to be these R&B cats. But again, Taraji coming with the woe it's me. Brother Wolf, what say you, sir? I mean, listen. Are women shock absorbers? Are they the shock absorbers for everybody else's trauma and they don't get to live in their own? That's feminism as if I ever heard it in my life. What say you, sir?
I'm trying to look at the analogy of a shock absorber.
Okay.
Because normally shock absorbers are attached to wheels.
Right.
They don't, not no engine, not no combustion. A shock absorber is close to the wheels.
Thank you.
I don't see women as no shock absorber. I don't know what the hell she talking about.
Right.
Again, man, they waste their youth. And then when they get older, they get upset because they see these young girls getting it, having relationships, and they mad because they wasted their youth, their prime. And then they make the young girls single mothers or single like themselves. It's like a virus.
That part.
So no, I'm not on board with her. I think that again, bitter, bad and bitter, not bad and bougie, bad and bitter. Okay.
Right. Bad and lonely.
Bad, bitter, and lonely. BBL. Bad, bitter, and lonely.
Right.
Right. The new BBL. The bad, bitter, and lonely.
Bad, bitter, lonely. Damn it. God damn it. Yeah, down bad. That's what they are. But you know what? Let me drop. Brother Bad Hombre said he wanted to check in, man. I'm going to drop the link. Bad Hombre, man. I'm gonna drop the link, man. We gonna see what type of time you know what I mean. Shout out to Bad Hombre. Let me drop the link for Bad Hombre. Bad Hombre, hit the link, man. Hit the link. I just dropped the link. Yeah, you're. But brother, let me go to brother Q, man. Brother Q, shock absorbers, sir. Women don't get to live in them true selves, man. They always taking the blunt of the world.
Chef, see, me and you would have been going at it over Taraji, boy, a couple years ago. A couple years ago. We'd have been beefing over that. But it's interesting. I was thinking about what Michelle said and the substance of what she said. I get all that. She's saying she wanted to do some things for her, wanted to be out on a limb and really get into herself as a woman. I understand that. And I do have some type of empathy towards that. However, she signed up to be in the politics with her husband, and she knows that it was only quote unquote proper etiquette to be at an inauguration. Don't try to use that as an excuse for, as a woman, you wanted to get yourself together and focus on you because you signed up for that. And then to double back in and said, oh, people even made this stuff about your marriage. No, people always been talking about y'all marriage. Y'all marriage been talked about since day one when people allegedly said that you weren't a woman. So to say this type of stuff is very disingenuous, knowing how she has always, for lack of better words, always been in the spotlight the last 13, 14 years, always been attacked. So get over it. You signed up for it. This is the life that you chose. And then to be like shock absorbed, like you're talking to somebody who's a habitual single woman.
Come on.
As much as I like Taraji, I mean, Taraji's situation is not your situation. She can't give you advice on being married to the same person for damn near half of your life. So the conversation really is like a smorgasbord of nothing. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Craig be in these conversations is the clapping girlfriend. Instead of as a man taking control, taking charge, and giving a masculine man advice on what they're saying, because he's supposed to be given a masculine man perspective. But he can't. He's sitting there clapping his hands like girl power. So, this is once again when women, and this is the thing, is that women are women. Nobody else knows what it to be a woman but a woman. However, don't come with these lame excuses when you want to get a mental day, an emotional day, a self-care day. That's just part of being a woman.
Right.
But all this other stuff that Michelle was talking about, it made no sense. It really made no sense, and it lost me.
Well, you know what, brother Q? I mean, this is why I say it's a lot of projection that goes on. These chicks go onto the airways just to vent, and then they go back and they go onto the internet, they go, vent, and then go back to their regular lives, whether it be single or actually in a committed relationship.
Just be a hoe.
But
just come out and say, I want my boots knocked. That's it. It's okay. No, this is a country that don't really care. And if you want to do you, nobody's going to say nothing. But the minute that you're giving excuses and all these tricks to as a reason to do you, that's when people are going to critique and say and call you out on your bullshit. Just do you. Don't make an excuse. Because believe it or not, when you're really doing you, you don't care about what nobody else thinks.
That part. Listen, we got Brother Black Hombre in here, and I'm gonna say this, man. Listen, anybody, most men was probably still hit Taraji, but they would. That's why I said most. That's why I said most. But let's be very clear.
I don't know. I'm on the fence. She sounds like she's bad for business because she was complaining about those janky deals. Like, I don't know.
Well, hold on, brother Negro, and this is why I'm saying most men would probably hit Taraji. I didn't say wife. Ain't nobody cuffing this.
Won't even hit it. Because
Yeah.
I would be depreciating myself. See, when you know your value, you would never let nobody. If
That's
I
right.
give her a chance with me, I would be doing my standards,
Come on.
my value. I wouldn't want to even put my seed up in her on my rod of correction.
Nigga, you, nigga, I'm talking to you.
There you go, Q. There
No,
you
she
go.
she doesn't even get entertained because I know that when I'm finished, I got to hear that mouth,
That part.
that energy, that negative energy. Man, you can't put a price on peace. There's no peace in that piece. There's no peace going up beside that piece. Okay, you're gonna hear about that. You gonna hear about that. I gave him some. Look at all the brothers right now who thought they was just smashing and dashing, but now they got lawsuits.
Come on.
So nah, she don't even get
got tricked out of their tricked out of their bag, tricked themselves out of their whole bag.
And
You tricked
one more
yourself.
thing, I'm just tired of seeing entertainers and actors and athletes get the mic and think they're speaking on behalf of the collective because a little influence.
Because the brother Juan, the reason why that happens is when they get that platform, instead of saying, "Oh, this area or that area or what we're talking about is not my expertise," they become addicted to the microphone. They become addicted to the speech, and then the way as and I'm gonna use something that Shiesty would probably say: as the universe works, you reap what you sow.
That's a fact. Let me get brother.
Period.
That's a fact, Q. But you know what? Let me get brother Black Hombre in here. Black Hombre, what it look like, man? Holla at us, man. Talk to the patriarch.
Hello, can you all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I promise I will stay on topic, but very quickly, I just want to say that I saw Sinners last night in IMAX, and I can only describe it in one word. And I had to make up a word. I describe it as being Scorsese-esque. If you know, you know. It's a modern masterpiece. It's a modern SBA masterpiece. And when you see it, you understand what I mean by that. Okay. Michelle Obama. I hate Michelle Obama. I'm just going to keep it real because there's only a so-called black president where you would have the first lady being damn near more popular and famous than he is. He needs to go somewhere, sit down, read the kids, teach people how to cook, and keep it moving. Why George Bush wife isn't podcasting? She's not trying to be more famous than her husband. But no, this is what we as black men have to deal with. I agree with that other brother. I wouldn't hit Taraji. I would have hit her in the 90s, but that ship has sailed. So why deal with the crazy 52-year-old when you can go Bill Belichick and get a 25-year-old? So that bird has flown. Tracy, okay, so here's the thing. She's not actually Diane Ross's first daughter. Her first daughter she had with Barry Gordy. She's married to another FBA brother. You don't hear anything from her. But Tracy's dad is a small hat, and now we have all the confusion, no marriage. Read between the lines here. Why is Barry Gordy's daughter married to her brother and living happily ever after, but Tracy's just living in a ball of confusion? Shout out to Motown. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And I will just sit back and listen. Great show as always. Hello?
Salute, brother Black Hombre. Salute, man. We appreciate
Okay.
Yeah, salute, man.
Hey, he woke something up though. He did wake something up. You got the small hat mulatto, right? The spawn of a small hat who has now qualified to be a full blown tragic mulatto, right? And now she's single, independent, talking about her woes. How'd that work out? But then you got the black American chick, saying, coming out the same womb essentially, and she cuffed up. How'd that happen? How'd that happen, family? So I say all that to say that my brother Dr. Shaw, he spoke to me earlier. He was talking about a simulation, right? A simulation.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have found, what we understand is that a lot of women, that's their default setting, the assimilation part. It's a default setting in the modern day woman. Okay? Now, when I say modern day, I want to make sure that I clarify that when I'm alluding or talking about that, I'm talking about the mindset. Right? She can be a modern day woman at 50 years old, as we see here, right? 50 plus years old. Taraji is considered, I would consider, the modern day woman and her mindset and her framework. Tracy, a modern day woman, right? Just by the way that they think. Okay? So we have to be careful. And then now you got the got the younger shorties. Early 20s, mid 30s, early 30s. Modern day woman. It's a mindset as far as I'm concerned. Salute to the 120 plus in here. A lot of salute to the brothers who see this for the danger that it is. Stranger danger. You see these type of chicks coming, you duck, my guy. Save yourself. Save your seed. Preserve your seed. Don't stick and then look like Anthony Edwards. Right? Shout out to Anthony Edwards. You got chicks out here saying he got 4 baby mamas all within the same year. How that work? 4 baby moms. Right? Because his pullout game is trash. He going in raw dog and everything. Brothers, save yourselves. Getting Summer Jam screened all over the place by these chicks. Shout out to your boy, what's the dude? Travis Hunter. He about to get Summer Jam screened. He was actually on the winter tour. But it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before you get that Summer Jam screen treatment. So again, brothers, I mean, this is what awaits you. It's just now that the older chicks are entering the fray again. They jumping back in the field, saying this is an easy lick. He gonna make me feel young again. What y'all think Stella Got a Groove Back was all about? Let me let that percolate. What you think Stella Got a Groove Back was about? Girls Trip. What y'all think that was about? Come on now, brothers.
She's competing.
Come on.
Against the other young sisters. She's not complimenting. She's competing.
And she don't even want to mentor either, brother Wolf. She's not thinking about mentoring these young shorties.
No, she wants to extract energy.
Right.
From them. Get what she can, which is they ain't got much. She has more. She just want a good time. I mean, a perpetual good time. She can't have no children. I think the females fail to realize one of the greatest things you can give a man is a child. And the window is not large, not a big window. And when that window closes, that's it. But a man wants a child. He wants a child. If you can't give a child, then your good time need to be a good time. Not just sexual. Cooking the behaviors of what? We're going to say wives, not girlfriends or partners. We need to eliminate this girlfriend partner phenom because it's not working. We're the only group of people talking about some partners. Where everybody else? Well, the rest of the culture is catching up Western society. But in our in Black culture, we talking about partners. You get a partner in a business. You need a wife, a husband, some children. If you want to maintain a society. So she's she out of order. Tadra, she out of order. They out of order, man. I just, again, I almost feel like I'm wasting my precious words talking about these jokers.
Mm.
I look, I couldn't watch her. Well, I couldn't watch it. I didn't even entertain her when she did Empire. Empire was trash.
Come on.
Okay. I couldn't even watch Empire because just that, man, I'm a masculine male. You're not going to out masculine me. I want a feminine woman.
Warm. You feel me? Warm. Come here, sweetie, beloved.
Come on. Oh man, with somebody with broad shoulders, like you out shouldering me.
If her back bigger than yours, Wolf, if her back bigger than yours, can you love her the right way?
Got that. She got them shoulder pads. What's that? Simone. What was that lady that was? You know what I'm talking
Simone
about?
Sanders.
Yeah, Simone Sanders blocking that pass.
Listen. If your shoulders is bigger than mine, we got it ain't never gonna work.
We wouldn't even be in this situation right now if we had a war. Because I hear all the chat, all the talk. But if I got to put a AR-15 in your hand, you out here and get in that front line of fight. Let's see how long that masculinity stay in place. The only reason why they can have these conversations because we're not at war. Because if it was at war, if we were at war, this wouldn't be a conversation. You'll know your role.
Right.
We need a good war. That's what we need. We need a war.
Wolf said, "Fuck all the fake." He said, "Forget all the $5 masculinity. Show me that it's real.
Yeah.
Show me it's real on the field. Yeah,
Murder, death, mayhem.
Right. Let's see if that femininity show up when it's really time.
I saw a lot of feminists out there in the streets, but the first thing they do need some help, they call that police. And they go right back into femininity. We're going from being masculine to whoop your ass. He's going to say, what are you talking about? Ocean up. Come on. You can't have it both ways.
What they do, Wolf? They go from they go from all of this to
because they believe, like Shicey said in the chat, I got the police.
Wolf, she got you, man. She gonna call you up when it's time to get busy.
What's the name of that? Again, not including the rest of society.
Right.
It's only between 40 and 45 million Black Americans, right? Just us. We're gonna say 20 million are females, right? But nationwide, from Maine to California, it's only 900,000 police officers. And your biggest numbers are your metropolis, your New Yorks, your LAs, your Phillies, your Floridas.
Come on.
But if you look at if you take all the police officers nationwide who's actually doing patrol, and that would include the state troopers, the county, the municipals, okay? It's only 900,000 police officers. It's 340 million Americans nationwide. And we are 40 million, 45. You ain't got enough police officers to protect you. So keep thinking that police gonna be there for you. They're not.
That part, Brother Wolf. Brother Q, man, I mean, let me play some more. Let me give it some more context for everybody. And then I'm gonna go to you, Brother Q.
Yeah. Right? Because it's so easy to just say, let me do the right thing.
But then you become a shock absorber.
Yeah.
And that's what women are.
Yeah.
We're shock absorbers.
Yeah.
And that's exhausting. And
It
it's not
is.
healthy.
Yeah.
It is not healthy.
Mhm.
You've had to be shock absorbers for your husband, for your children, for your mom, for your family, your loved ones, because of where you were sitting in the public eye.
Mhm.
That's not fair to you. When do you ever get to live for you?
Mhm.
Everybody love everybody! Come on! Applaud you. I'm happy that you are taking care of yourself in the way that you need to.
Yeah.
Now listen. I'ma need these feminazis to stop acting like Roach from People Under the Stairs. How many of y'all seen that show, that movie? People Under the Stairs. How many of the family seen that movie? He was in captive. They cut the nigga tongue off, okay? They cut the nigga tongue off. He was running through the walls. Roach. That's captive. All of this weird shit that these feminazi be running around here doing, acting as if somebody got a gun up to their head, man. This shit is so annoying. And it's very dangerous and detrimental to our community. Because these women portray, they present as if they want a nuclear family when they don't.
They hate. And I know Brother Juan speaks about them hating God, but they hate that they're women.
Come on, man.
They hate the natural creation and disposition that they were upon. They hate that they're women. They hate that they have emotions. They hate that they have feelings. They hate that they are the caretakers, the nurturer of the family, let alone society. Because most of them will, if they could literally change that responsibility, i.e., get abortions, of being a nurturer, being the bedrock to a family, they would. And that's what you're hearing. You're literally hearing that she wants to be bailed out of being who she is.
Say that again, Q.
Being
Come on,
bailed
man.
out of who she is. And I'm not comparing her to men. That's like these brother fuckers who don't want to be men, who don't want to be protectors, providers, teachers, instructors. That's the same thing. People don't want the responsibility that comes with being who they are. And then you got Taraji talking about, I applaud you for just being you. No. Michelle Obama is who she is. You chose to have children, allegedly. You chose to be married to Barack. You chose to be the president's wife. You chose to do all this. You chose to put the spotlight on you, and now you're running from the very responsibility that you chose to take. I don't get it.
I get it.
Because that's that's really what she's saying. Like, you don't take days off. Nobody could just say, "Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to be who I am." And this is why we got so many issues. And people like Taraji, who's trauma bonding with her, sound crazy.
A man can't take off when he take on the responsibility of a child and a wife or a woman.
Let's go.
He can't take off.
Let's go there.
You ain't have no man out here telling me something. I'm just a shock absorber. I don't want to provide for my family no more. I don't want to protect no more. I don't want to give instructions. I'm tired of this. We can't do that. Because if we do that, we would be bums. Oh, you're a bum. Oh, you just want to be a bum.
Dusty.
Dusty. Right, Dusty. Go ahead, Q.
A duster. Okay?
Yeah, you a Dusty. Yeah.
This woman, every woman who heard her say that women are absorbers, or what she say was
shock absorbers.
Yeah, shock absorbers.
You should be offended because this message is going global. She ain't just speaking in no vacuum. Michelle Obama is the ex-president's wife who has a podcast that even if you ain't listened to it, it's going global. And the people she's bringing on there are talking about Black Americans, per se, from their perspective. If the women do not raise up against these genocidal, homicidal, misandrous women,
serial killers,
then you're going to get the blowback too. You're going to get what they're going to get. A lot of guys stepping over caucuses. Okay?
Yeah. Come on.
This is crazy. This is real crazy. I'm not looking at Michelle having a podcast. I'm looking at Michelle talking to the world about us. And she's bringing other folks on to double down on these niggas ain't shit. I mean, even after her husband, who she said out her mouth, I didn't like him for 10 years.
Come on. Hold on now. Wake that up.
Couldn't stand him. Didn't want to be the first lady. And now you're seeing that she can't contain her contempt, not just for the office, but for the man. Because again, like you said, Q, when Jimmy Carter passed away and everybody was there that was still living, peace and respect. Now you go by yourself, Barack. I'm good.
I'm gonna holler at you. Yeah.
You know, I don't have
Optics said everything.
Yeah, I don't have enough consideration, not just for you, the office, and those who was there. Joker's in complete rebellion. And y'all gonna try to sanction her. Miss me with this.
That's a fact.
It's a sick Negro.
Yeah, goddammit.
This is a sick Negro.
Because she's a Black American. Goddamn. Let me play that one more. Brother Khalid Muhammad, goddammit.
Uh-oh.
This is a sick Negro.
That's right.
Is Brother Negro going to take that loss? She's from the lineage.
Yeah, Negro, what you got to say about this?
Yeah. Where the Negro at? Negro, check in, Negro. You know what disappeared, nigga?
All right. I heard something about the lineage. Yeah.
Let me bring the Negro up. Hold on.
There's a couple of things that need to be verified. Remember, we don't know about the whole cough thing, so we have to check on that. So until that passes, then we'll double back on that answer.
Well, Negro,
biological.
Somebody tell you this was an all-white party, huh? Someone get this jigaboo away from me.
Negro, what about the damage she's already done? Speak on that.
Yeah, Negro, you got the flow, sir.
Yeah. She had an opportunity with the whole WIC food thing. She could have made food a little bit better and cleaner and advocated in that area. She could have done a couple of things that was specifically in her ball of the court, where she could have affect change with Black folks. She didn't get on Barack Obama about that reparations. You know, I'm gonna go hard on that. She overheard what he said with Taisha Coates. Like, she should have pulled him aside and told him that was not cool.
See, the house Negro was always like that.
No, come on.
Nah, but that's what I feel like she failed representing us as Negroes in that regard. Like, she had an opportunity to voice her concern about certain things like police brutality, Trayvon Martin. Like, that was her time to shine as a Negro Black mother and say, that could have been my child.
Well, you got to understand, because it's only one thing.
They ain't got no boy children.
Well, it's only one reason. Listen, it's only one explanation there, though, brother Negro. Because
scared to death Negroes.
That's all. That's the only reason that makes sense. She's a scared Negro.
Negro got to take that.
You got to hold that L, brother Negro. You got to hold that L. Let me bring the Negro up, brother Negro.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to pull in the words of Mr. Q. Baby, we might have to hold this hell, family. We might have
Yeah,
to.
you got that's
Ladies, you need to be writing Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. Make sure she writing her. Make sure she stay on code. Nothing
Accountability.
threatening,
That's what I'm talking
but just
about.
let her know the importance of reparations. Delineation, stuff like that. But you already failed part of the test, bro. Delineation is making sure you have a Black American spouse, and isn't that one of the rules?
Negro, she said at the DNC to all the women who would listen to her.
Come
Come a
on with
time
it, cute
you may have to
brother.
go
Brother
against
Juan,
your
come with
husband.
it.
There comes a time when you may have to go against your husband. You go inside that voting booth, you vote your conscience. You don't vote with your husband. Look.
Easy, Wolf. Easy
Thank you
on the
for that
Wolf.
reminder.
Easy
We
on the
can't.
Wolf.
I don't think we can claim her. I
Easy.
think
She
that's
said there's gonna be. She said there's gonna have to be a time when you go against the family.
The patriot.
Forget huh? Come on. Yeah. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. There's gonna be a time when you go against the patriarchy. You understand? There's gonna be a time when you have to do that. For better or for worse, you still got to go against it at some point. 130 plus in here. Yeah.
That's why, Chef, when I tell you, and I've said it over and over again, that I almost don't want to say nothing these days. I just want to we've talked about this almost a year and a half now. Before it got popular, before it got hot, right? We've said that this is going to be the outcome of the sisters practicing this feminism piece or this misandry piece, however you want to say it.
Right.
We said, you know what? I said personally, I'm going to step over some carcasses.
You got to do it.
Yeah. I'm going to ignore the screams, the cries for help. And this is like a little child, maybe 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, maybe 10. Nah, maybe too old. But
you
maybe
giving
10
it till 9? That's it. 9. That's it.
9, because most of them have been contaminated and they don't know how to choose right from wrong. So the day of reckoning is here. They're losing their jobs. The man went straight for their jobs. He went straight for the very thing. I'm the most educated, the most making more money, and he went straight for the job of the thing. He started taking their jobs. And he ain't finished.
Huh?
He ain't finished.
And he pedestalized these chicks.
Yeah.
Shock absorbers. Grammy nominated. First lady. And every time you turn around, she bring another feminist, melanated feminist on that platform, y'all.
I
time.
gotta check in. I think one of them is Divine Nine. The girl on the left, not Michelle Obama, but the other one, Taja. Yeah, she's one of them. And I've seen Michelle Obama's too.
Look what I
Go
just
ahead, brother
presented.
Q.
Throw it on the screen. What I just put up there. She fucks the alpha, marries the beta. When the wall approaches, she'll spend her prime chasing toxic guys, then look for a man that builds her future. But once her sexual market value starts declining, translation, she wants you after the mileage.
That sound like brother Kevin. Is that brother Kevin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's brother Kevin. You understand?
In the name of brother Kevin, amen.
Marries
Again,
the beta.
Yeah, if we don't, again, this thing, feminism, like I said, I'm all about some equality, but I will never be about the misandry. And this feminist piece has evolved to a monster that's out of control, that needs to be put in its place or put away or stepped over or left for dead. I am not on board with misandry, nor am I on board with misogyny, because I'm not a misogynist. Okay? I may be a chauvinist, unapologetic.
Yeah.
I own that. I own
Pop your
my.
collar. Pop your collar.
I own my misogyny. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But I'm not no. I am not no chauvinist.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna be a chauvinist, but not misogynist. I don't hate females. Okay. I love these sisters, but you're out of order. And when you're out of order, it takes a man to put you back in order. That part.
Huh? Come on.
I'm not looking for the sisterhood to put them back in order because they can't do it. The jury is out. They won't put themselves back in order. So guess who got to do it? We do. With the help of God.
Because the phrase nowadays, who gonna check me, boo?
Oh, easy Q.
Who gonna check me? Who gonna...
Come on with it, Q.
There was a situation in the scriptures that talked about Miriam, who was the matriarch in the wilderness, right? And Miriam got with her brother Aaron and said, does not God speak to me also? And so they challenged Moses for his position. And God himself had to come down and say, yeah, I speak with you and your brother in dreams and visions, but I speak directly to Moses. You ain't had no respect for him. He said, if Moses had spit in your face like your father would do to a disrespectful child, you would have been unclean. So with that said, he dropped some leprosy on him, made her white as snow. Okay? Yeah, made her white as snow. And so it was Moses who pleaded for God to please restore her back to her original color, although she was disrespectful. It was God who dropped the hammer on Miriam, whose name means rebellious.
Sit your ass down. That's what it means.
Again, the patriarch has always been in the mind of the creator. Whether you are Islam, whether you are Muslim, whether you're Torah, whether you're Buddhist or Confucian, the patriarch has always been in the mind. And when you go against the patriarch, you go against the mind of God. And I mean that. 10 toes down.
Our brother Juan J. Johnson. Gentlemen.
And I'm gonna drop that passage in that whole story about Miriam in the chat. We'll find it real quick.
Well, I'll tell you what, gentlemen, we have come up on the 3-hour mark, essentially. I know we got some of the zesty boys in this thumbnail here, but you know what, we could say that for another time, because as our brother Dr. Short said, there could probably be part 2, part 3 of this thing, so we may go ahead and do that as well. But y'all see them jigaboos. Look at all these niggas. What they all got in common. Big ass foreheads. Look at their foreheads. Hakeem, your boy Corey Boosie, and Roland Bust Down. This cat, man, with the and everybody, y'all, I know a lot of y'all remember when he slipped up and showed that little booty cheeks of them bussy boys that he liked to watch when he's when he's broadcasting live. So yeah, 9 times out of 10, all of them cats that you see on this thing right here are booty bandits. But they're the ones that are constantly in front of our faces. So with that being said, man, we're going to get ready to wrap it down. Brother Negro, sir. Let me get to the brother Negro, man. How do I stop this screen here, man? Let them know what's shaking, how we looking with the book, man, and what they can look forward to the future, sir.
Yeah, I'll be running some X spaces on delineationology, some parts and excerpts when I get a chance, in certain conversations, because I see a lot of people have a question about it, and I definitely want to address them and make sure that I get our point and our message about the book more effectively, so people can participate and understand that we're talking about the criminality and the behavior of anti-blackness and melanin misrepresentation on government documentations and stuff like that. And it's a science where we can start investigating these crimes and reporting these crimes on our own in the future. That's something that I am pushing for. Also, I want to keep you guys informed that we're shooting towards June with the book signing. We're going to get some more books and stuff of that nature to get ready for that signing. So you can catch us at Black and Noble Nobel out in Philly. So there are people that are interested in the book out that way as well. So that's a great thing as well. So yeah, one day at a time. And also graduation's around the corner. So preparing for that. And thank you, and great show for today.
Salute to our brother Negro for checking in, man. Most definitely. Salute to the Negro Knight. Man, listen, let me go to the brother Q. I gotta clear this space. How I clear this out, Q, or I gotta drop this off.
Go to your left. Go to your left in scenes and go to group scenes, I think.
Yeah, let me drop this up out of here. Scenes, group scenes. We drop him out of there. Nah, not me. We gonna go here. Okay, this right here. Get this up out of here. Let me go back to the brothers. All right. It's okay. I guess we'll do
because
this one
they
by
got
one.
stuck on media, right?
Yeah. So we'll do it like this. But brother Q, let me go to you real quick, man. Let them know what's coming down the pipeline. What's shaking? What can we look forward to?
Really excited. Had a show last night, man, and it was just basically an introduction show on People of the Land. That's the title of the show, People of the Land and What Secrets They Hold. Basically, it is giving an exploratory look at who we are as a people. The Black American is a very distinct individual. What has happened to him in this land, most people may say is Turtle Island. And talking about the blacks that were here before the Constitution, understanding that this country is a constitutional republic and what that means. And we're going to try to bring it all the way up to the ideology or thought process to people not understanding that we are in like I said, a capitalistic country in a constitutional republic. And when they use the words like calling an individual a Marxist or fascist, what does it really mean and the implications of what it means? And and it happens naturally. People fall into these type of ideologies. So we've been doing this show every Tuesday, basically, myself and Sister Azima. And now we have Chief Mimi, who is not a self-named Indian. She is an original Aboriginal person, someone who knows her lineage and how it ties to our claim as reparations. And it's very important that we understand why, even when we say that we're Black Americans, we'll understand why legalities to get reparations, why the wording has to be worded properly. Because a lot of times people may not understand that black, white, all this stuff is what we consider social constructs. And you have to know legal terms and the law to really get a full grasp of it. So with that, got really excited about it, and got some stuff coming up. Like you said, Chef C, hopefully we'll double back on this piece, man, and really get a good, thorough understanding of it and really understand what feminism is and what feminism isn't.
Most definitely, brother Q. Salute to our brother Q, man. Let's Talk 2. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to our brother Q from Let's Talk 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see this here, man. The Wolf, I see you, brother, man. Let me go to the Wolf real quick. Brother Wolf, anything you got? Matter of fact, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me not play with y'all. We'll be right back for a second. Salute.
Stack you hard, fool.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Our
I
brother
need that
Juan
file,
J.
Chef C.
Johnson. Yeah, I'm gonna
I
slide
need
that.
that.
I slide that file over, man. Our brother Juan J. Johnson. So let him know what you got coming down the pipeline, sir.
Well, just to be on the for inquiring minds, that's me. If you're a first timer here, that's me. Teaching our people how to shoot. That's me shooting, and that's me teaching folks how to shoot. So I'm about that. I'm about that life, family. I'm about that. And I'm gonna ask always the question: have you considered a shotgun?
Yeah.
Have you considered a rifle? Have you considered a revolver? Have you considered a semi-automatic handgun? Because it's real out here in these streets. I gave an analogy earlier that it's 340 million Americans, right? I'm talking about Asian, Latino, Black, white, and the others, compiled of 340 million nationwide. It's only 900,000 police officers nationwide. I'm not talking about your Secret Service, your CIA, your FBI. I'm talking about just straight patrol, community, municipals, cities, counties, states. 900,000. You don't have enough police officers. For all those who keep saying, I'm a trust in the police. It ain't enough. Just in the state where I'm at right now in Maryland, it's like 1 million residents. They may have 2,500 police officers. In DC, where I'm retired from, you had maybe 600,000 citizens, but you maybe had 4,000 police officers on a good year because attrition and retirement. 4,000 is kind of high. Maybe 3,700. But you don't have enough police officers. If everybody called for the police right now, somebody is going to not get the service. This is why I say you need to get you one of those, a firearm, and become a responsible gun owner, gun user. What's coming down the pike for me is this. I'm going to be doing some Zoom sessions, private. And so we can talk about responsible gun ownership or personal protection, and even the laws that's being passed every day to keep the guns out your hand. But with that said, I enjoyed the broadcast, all the brothers on board, everybody in the chat. Don't forget to still support each and every one's platform. You can go to On Their Necks and subscribe. Go to Let's Talk and subscribe. Go to the Negro and subscribe. And come on over to Along with Firearms and subscribe, and then go right back to where you want to go. Don't cost you nothing to subscribe or give a like or support the broadcast. And I'm going to land with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, our brother Juan J. Johnson, LWF training, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Shout out to our brother Juan J. Johnson. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get me on the screen real quick, huh? Let's get me on the screen. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, another one in the books. I want to first and foremost thank all of y'all for checking in with us today. Again, if you're here for the first time, I am your host, Chef C from New Jersey, and this is On Their Next podcast, okay? Brought to you by Bloodline Films in collaboration with LWF Training and our partner broadcast is Pat Talk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just to keep that in mind. But also, I want y'all to, for different content, you're looking for something a little different, get you right, especially the sisters or brothers that's looking to find your situation, I got you. Go over to my other platform, The Cook Up with Chef C. I'm going to show you how to spin the block, get you right. I am a Michelin-trained, award-winning chef, to be very clear. Right? I might be on here with the blackety black, but I actually really cooks. And I'm going to get you right. Make sure you go over there, subscribe to that platform so we can cook together, and you'll learn something. all right, that you'll be able to take and do whatever the heck you want to do with it. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to that platform. Also, if you're new here as well, our major cinematic documentary, From the Soil, we are picking back up this Saturday. I'm going to be in DC, picking up to resume the production of From the Soil, which will be the movie version coming out very soon, y'all. I want y'all to keep it locked for that. It's going to be phenomenal, man. So make sure y'all are locked and loaded for all of those things coming down the pipeline. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, just with that being said, man, we want to salute everybody that always come through and keep it rocking with us. Make sure you have liked, shared, subscribed, right? And if you haven't done so, make sure you go ahead and do that. But there's one very important thing to remember, ladies and gentlemen. In a system of white degeneracy, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. My name is Chef C, and I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Salute.